Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17 to bring you another company of yours to replay. Yes, this is a 2v2, oops, my apologies, wrong button. 2v2 game on, let's see, I believe Road to Kharkov? Yes. In any case, we have Sober and El Padre versing Dr. Medrin and Dougal Entendre. So we have Dougal, Doctor, Sober, and El Padre. Alright, some pretty high players. So it should be a pretty even game. Not really one is higher than the other, so either side could win this, honestly. We have, again, American, British, OKW, Vermont, so pretty even across the board. Like a more defensive allied play, again, faction with a more frontline heavy one, and OKW and Vermont are kind of a mixed bag of both, so we'll see how this goes. This map is notorious for also cutoff points. If you cut off like some very specific points like this one or others, you could do a lot of damage and cut off a decent chunk of the map. And I believe I had a replay earlier where there was it this map? No, I actually think it was another. But essentially, like, close the pocket would be very good on this. I don't know if he has it or not. I don't know, he doesn't. Yeah. He has a lot of tigers and long range stuff. We'll see how that goes. The elephant could be pretty good because if you station it correctly, like over here on this side, you could deal a lot of damage to enemy armor coming through like this whole area. But you have to put it like here. Let's see, we have an MG by Sober. Also Sniper. Very interesting to see how this goes. I wonder if he did it because he is versing a British player and he knows that they have weaker infantry. And by that I mean they don't have as many men. And if you take out their individual, units, you could easily push them back by just killing one or two, even just like two guys. They'll retreat because like, oh, we're not as good. Retreat. The problem is right now this UC, the Universal Carrier that he currently has, and Dougal again could be going heavy infantry and then having that to counter, let's say, armor. I don't think he expected a sniper per se, but if this MG can activate armor piercing rounds, which it's getting dangerously close to, it could do a lot of damage. Let's see. Looks like he had to pull back. The problem with going the sniper is, while it's good against infantry, he didn't have anything to counter Universal Carrier. And in that strategy, it's, unfortunately, if the guy deploys Universal Carrier, you're kind of in a negative light. But we have a mine being placed over here. This is going to end up badly if that Universal Carrier just starts shooting him. A lot of infantry coming through. American player also laying down mines. Let's see, he went the infantry company. So Priest could be pretty good, although I will say time on target's great. This map, unlike a lot of 2v2 games, is weird in a sense that it's longer. So unfortunately in other maps like like Regev Winter is one that comes to mind, or a few other smaller 2v2 games, I don't think artillery can necessarily hit, or like crossing in the woods, another one. You can't really have artillery in the base fire across the enemy base. I feel like there's just enough distance, unless you get it vetted up and increase that range, that you don't have to worry initially about that artillery. Kubo having an issue, although I think it could win, maybe. They're really weak, and unfortunately, like, just one decent shot, there we go, would kill a man or two. And if he keeps doing that, maybe, just maybe, he can kill that squad. Do I think that? Maybe not. Hopefully. But right now, even though Dougal's doing a pretty good job, he's holding this position, I'm kind of curious about the trench. My rationale is, while I like the idea of the trench, and I know a few other players I know like using it a lot, I don't, because it can't turn. So you leave this huge flank on your right or left open so they can easily flank you. Now, if it gets ranked up and gets increased to Vet 1, different story. But I would have rather put it like here, so that way they can't flank this side and you can have like troops guard the right. Let's see, flame unit. Okay, somehow suppressing that. And the flamethrower is just burning them as they retreat. That's great. Oh my god, so, been playing more of the Battlefield 1 beta. Got my hands on a flamethrower. Oh, that feels so good. It's just like burning the entire... Me and another teammate had the flamethrower glitch. We both picked it at the same time. Just burned all the infantry. They were running out of buildings. There was a guy who jumped out of a 2-story window and killed himself trying to run from my flamethrower. It's great. Now, unfortunately, while, Dougal's doing good, Dr. Mandarin, Madrin, I guess? I don't know. Okay, so you have a lot of frontline infantry, well, a decent amount. The problem is you need to capitalize on it and start taking territory and holding. You don't have unfortunately, infantry is more like hit and run. That's what the Americans are really good for. But you don't have really a lot of stationary defenses or anything like that. You can build it with riflemen, don't get me wrong. But the enemy is currently getting a lot of resources that you can't really allow them to get. We can see here, especially like munitions, they're getting way more. And if they get those like SCG-44s, they have a Panzerschreck right now, which probably will die if he you're gonna seriously keep it there? Okay. By the way, love how that flamethrower shot through the trench. Also, why you would put a guy in a building when you know there's a flamethrower, I don't know. Because that flamethrower insta-kill guys in buildings. It's that bad. If you run back into the building. Okay. Anyway, with the added upgrade, he can shoot farther, which is why it makes the Vickers a great counter to snipers. As well, bad snipers. If you're a good sniper player, can like hide, gain cover, stuff like that, you can do pretty good. The Wehrmacht player is unfortunately losing quite a bit. We have some more units on the El Padre side, and also we could probably upgrade for some STG-44s, have a nice Volk army. But we also have a Lux. So with that, I truly think that the OKW player is probably going to annihilate the British player, because he'll be like, oh, Greyshot, why would you say that? There's one AT gun here. I don't see any other AT. If that Lux is done correctly, he could go right through it. If, however, that we could see some actual like interesting, like if I'm sorry, let me just say it. If Lux is an idiot, he's screwed. We shall see. All right, nice job just trying to kill the building. Stay back, hide behind. Some infantry pushing up, but they're doing okay. A lot of stuff pushing up, some more light armor with the scout car. Good against infantry, but again, we have a bazooka right here, so we'll see how well that goes long term. Wow, pretty good job sniping all that stuff. Luke's coming in, being hit by the AT gun. AT gun ready to fire again. Putting it around. Looks like a bazooka hit also hit that, so managed to push it back. Very nice. And now we're there just waiting, lying in wait for some type of assault. Let's see. In this scenario, I would actually come this way. Why push over there when you can kill a couple infantry units? Like, there's a big clump right here. You know they have an AT gun. Yeah, so this is just... And you're not retreating it for some odd reason. Man, you'll wonder why it blew up. I will say this. Nice grenade that was... I think it was a rifle grenade down that location. Very good. Annihilated the poor British son of a bitch right there. But... Lux is coming back up, and now he has to figure out a way to run the AT gun. My goal would be try to focus light infantry one way, and then try to... Yep, there we go. Coming in from the flank. Again, well, the problem is we also have a bazooka guarding it, so just do like a serpentine action, or go after something and make sure they can't see you. That also works. Hiding behind the building so it survives. Very nice. Very nice. Fortunately, his howitzer is in negative cover, so it's going to get annihilated. Oh my, really? And it's going to die from bazooka shot. Oh wow, it missed. Can it live? Run, Lux. Run! Oh, there's AT grenade here. It's screwed. Even if it's probably going to kill the bazooka team, honestly. Like, it's so close to dying, it's not even funny. But one rifle grenade. Yep, there it goes. If he would have focused fire on that unit, he probably would have been fine. Well, that was a decent play by the Lux. I did like the counterplay with the hiding it behind cover. Again, for those who don't know, you can use this as essentially like a blocking point, so you can hide your lighter armor. Even medium armor does that. A Bofa right here pretty much making any sort of push by lighter infantry pretty much a no-go. But on the flip side, we have a lot more stuff coming on the right. But we have a Stuart. Stuart's pretty good against infantry, really good at like taking out armor units. Light armor specifically, although it can actually cripple medium armor as well with its specials, which I really like that. That's something that I kind of like it when it's like, oh, what is this pathetic weak thing? And it does the special, it's like, fuck, it's crippling the big heavy tank. Yeah, because that's what it's meant to do. I mean, you need, oh wow, do we have a cannon woofer? Have your own AT gun present, very nice. And there it goes. Unfortunately, too much AT from these two made it so that thing didn't stay around very long. Big push. We also have upgrades with the infantry to have Brens and possible Piats coming out, which I think is a great move. You get that infantry, you get it buffed up, you get it ready to go, and you got yourself a good infantry fighting force. And he does. He has an overall good force that he's pushing through and capturing territory. The American player, kind of more of a mixed bag. Having a lot more trouble keeping stuff alive. I mean, as an American player, I understand that, but I'm trying to think of like what he could possibly do, but I think like a fighting position or something would be good. I know he's for Kenwifer, but with the mortar you could counter that to deploy smoke if he does fire at it, so that way he doesn't have direct sight and can't hit it. But no, it looks like the American player with some British infantry. Oh no, it's an MG to help hold down the area. Looks like that will be their like fallback unit, so that way you can guard units on the front lines. And, you know, they can capture and do a lot of damage. Now the game has flipped, and I see that easily the Allies gain the upper hand. They need to capture this territory, because even though they have this point, and eventually this point, they still need to connect it to their Allied lines, and right now they don't have that. They need this territory is what they need. But also, really smart move with the, like, Boffer, because that stops any enemy positions coming from here. Also, long-range AT, kind of more difficult because of the shrubbery. You could say, like, oh, Greyshot, well, that makes it so that the Boffer can't hit infantry hiding around. Well, yes and no. Instinctively, yes, that makes it harder, but unlike an AT gun where a lot of shots will hit there, the Boffer is so powerful that it can shoot through and kill infantry. Also has suppressing fire ability to hit infantry behind here. So if he's a good player, he'll do that. Bren's versus some... oh, what are these things called? G43 rifles. Yep, there we go. And let's see, he went the Lightning War Doctrine. Okay, I can see this. Stuka Close Air Support, very good ability, great at destroying medium armor, and even some light infantry and emplacements. It won't... It's not designed to hit those things, but it will hurt them. Tiger Tank, again, good heavy tank, especially versus the Allies, could be something that could definitely break their backs. And then, of course, release again, tactical mover and leaf infantry, good. Because, again, if you're going to be fighting, especially the American player, you're going to be doing a lot of infantry combat. You need to make sure that they are on the front lines, and you can make sure you can reinforce them very quickly. So that's something that you need to do. Honestly, with what you picked here, with the shrubbery and everything, I would probably go Elite Armor. Because that way you can detect where the enemy armor is, then you can call in your Stuka Close Air Support and annihilate them. Or you go Yag Tiger. But with the problem I find with the Yag Tiger is they're going a lot more infantry-based, not armor-based. I know we're still 12 minutes in the game, but with what I'm seeing here from the American player, they're going artillery, they're going long range. And what you need to do is be able to get past their defenses, which is what the Storm Tiger does, get past the American blobs, which the Yag Tiger can't unless you get ranked up, and then maybe, if you're lucky, you get a shot. Yeah, in my honest opinion, out of all three, that's where you need to go. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Overwatch, great game, by the way. Overwatch, oh, by the way, just watch the Tracer versus Scout. Not going to spoil who wins or loses, but god damn, the screw attack with their fight animation. I'm just like, every time, as long as it's not like a fighter, like if it's not like, a lot of times they do like Street Fighter characters, I'm just like, I don't care. Or like Mortal Kombat characters, I'm like, I don't care. But goddamn, like when they do like the more outlandish stuff, like I don't know, Godzilla versus Gamera, I'm like, yes, you have my attention. Go on. Anyway, nice allied line here holding them back, and with the Boffer here, that combo, that Panzer IV is not going to push. And actually, with all the mines we've been placing, I am now more confident that the only way the Axis are going to break the allied lines if they have minesweepers. They need minesweepers. They can't push up and have a tank hit a mine. That's going to cripple them. They can't afford it right now. They need to gain those resources. They need to gain that territory. Now, Obosodan, okay, nice, interesting move. I don't know what you would do with that per se. And by the way, in case you're wondering also why I don't go Overwatch, the Goliath explosives, okay, but with the Boffer, they're instantly destroyed before they get close. The other stuff is like stationary stuff. Could help, could not. You don't have stuff on the front line to really help that. That helps with buildings that are close to the front. And finally, the Sector Assault is good, but if you're, I don't know, with the enemy choosing a Boffer and other things, having a lot more mobile infantry, I just don't see it as being all that effective. Nice grenade by Level Sodan, destroying that infantry. Again, more explosive in power than the grenades that the Americans have natively. So, of course, if you're shooting between the bundle grenade and the other grenade, bundle grenade is going to be a lot more. But, of course, it's a load with 7 Model 24 grenades. Yeah, that's going to be why it's so much more powerful. How much does it cost again? Yeah, it's 45. So, you're going to need to fall that unit back. Don't cap, just retreat. Allow your ally to take it. Alright. Now, what do the Allies and Axis need to do in this scenario? Well, we have a pop cap, and the Axis are actually losing in that regard. And what I find you need to do is actually what the Axis may be doing. Let the British attack. Weaken them down. Because, as far as I know, okay, you do have a... Oh, you do have a retreat point. Okay. So, weaken them down. Cause their infantry to be pulled back. And then, don't take damage. That's the thing. You have to engage them in a defensive. Allow yourself to win. And then push. You need to make sure they're in a weakened state. That's one of the few ways you can actually win in a scenario in which the enemy has more men than you. You have to allow them to attack, weaken them, and then counter. It's the original. If you watch Game of Thrones, there was a recent season. It was a battle strategy where there was a smaller army and a larger army. I'm not saying why, what, who, where, and what. Like, again, I know it repeats himself, but again, Game of Thrones spoilers. But the intention was lure the bigger army into the smaller army, so they lose more men getting to the smaller army, and the smaller army can overwhelm the larger army because they sacrifice their momentum. They sacrifice their native advantage for the element, like just for overwhelming power. It's again, it's something that's like obvious, but a lot of times I see players with smaller armies try to push, and that's a last resort, because unless you have a very powerful unit to help break the enemy lines, it's a much higher chance for you to lose a lot more and be thrown out of the game than it is for them to assault you. With a smaller force, you overwhelm that smaller force and then assault them when their smaller force and their normal force is there, because you then can meet them toe to toe. So right now we have a bunch of infantry. This is what I would probably recommend. They have a lot of infantry and everything right here. What you kind of need is a, let's see, what you get. Yeah, okay, a Stuka. Stuka would be what you need right now to help break their lines. If you want to crush their assault force and deal damage to their defenses, you need a Boffer. And this is beautiful. If it would have hit. If it would have hit. He went for the emplacement, which is okay, but knocking out the AT gun and the MG is what you needed to do, and you missed. Now, unfortunately, nothing has changed. The Stuka did nothing. It barely caused any damage whatsoever. Really, that much? It didn't even cause... Oh, whatever. Now, we do have a Cromwell being deployed, and I don't see a ton... Oh, wait. Panzer Grenadier, duh. I was going to say 18 until I saw that. Now the Cromwell's going to run, because these Panzer Grenadiers destroy armor. And, again, they just can't win. Now, the Allies are slowly moving up. They need to break the assault. They need to hammer it. And that's why, in my humble opinion, that's why you should... Yeah, okay, he did pick this doctrine. The Sturm Tiger is what you need. Yes, you're sacrificing a lot of... you're sacrificing a big heavy tank. But that's what Sober's doing. Sober's countering in that regard. He has that armor, so you don't need it. You're the support player. You can hit them. You can do the, like, the quick strike from behind. We see here, this American guy, he's blobbing. Dougal hasn't really done that per se. I mean, he has some infantry units like behind cover, but he's been more spread out typically. You have this kind of more clumped together, but that's because he moved the AT gun up from the Stuka. They've been a little bit more spread out, so it's a lot harder for a Sturm Tiger to hit them. But with the American player, man, do American players like to blob. This would be a perfect Sturm Tiger shot, which is why I think is what you need. Now, the Panzer IV is a good substitute for now, along with the headquarters making sure they don't push up to a certain point. The Panzer IV is great for knocking out infantry, and especially when they're going through this negative cover, it's like a good Panzer IV shot, or even their MG can sustain enough fire for them to weaken across that assault. It's just, it's like running through no man's land in World War I and tripping, and it's just flat. There's nothing there. You accidentally fell over a tree. There's no cover, no nothing. You're screwed. You have the entire enemy, the entire enemy machine gun wall about to hit you. Yeah, it's not going to go well. Now, unfortunately, that Stuka did a little bit against here. Really wish it would have hit that mine. Although, like, enough fire with a Panzer Grenadier could do it if it accidentally missed. Infantry coming in for the flank. Very nicely done, by the way. Well, yeah, they're in cover. This guy's in some decent cover. Okay. So, right now, the British player I see is the bigger threat. This is why, like, again, we have the Bofors, we have the mortar, you have a good armor unit, you have front line, you have a quick fallback point. Unless you do a great strike and knock out the infantry retreating, they're just going to keep resupplying and repairing. So, more and more prevalent do I see El Padre needing to deploy a Sturm Tiger in that location. Now, let's see over here. What are you going to get? So, you have... Let's see. You have not upgraded, so you're just going to support armor. This, I feel like, can be a mistake. Let me see what the American player has as well. Okay, he actually, maybe not. He went with a priest. I mean, don't get me wrong. The priest is going to start hammering their defensive positions, and as a player already on defensive and not really on the offensive, that's a pretty bad sign. It looks like they're trying to send more troops and stuff to the left-hand side. We'll see how well that goes. The British, though, are putting a pretty good, putting a lot of pressure on them right here. And if they can, knock out this key point, they can take out a huge amount of resources and decap a large area, which is pretty important to the Axis that they hold that location. So again, I can see what the British are doing. That being said, if they keep pushing, they're kind of being open to a surrounding attack where they just get overwhelmed by all the different sides, and then they just get knocked out. So, what do they have to do? We have great infantry. That's the thing he has. He has great infantry, good support, a Firefly coming up, mortars. Dougal has a great, very strong army that's going to be very tough to break. Sturm Tiger coming in. This is where you could maybe do something here. Or you could charge up. Okay. Decent shot. It could have been better. You don't need to move that damn thing up so far to the front for it to do that damage. The AT gun's still alive. The American player has another AT. And you still have all this. What would have been really awesome is you come in from this flank where they can't really see, like, they don't have that sight radius that they normally have. Coming from the flank, you don't really see them. And you fire through here and you knock it out. And before you say, oh, Greyshot, like, how do you know he's even there? You can use your detection to be like, okay, the Cromwell's not there. Let's do a little scouting. Scout out, find that location, Sturm Tiger, boom. Actually, here's a question. Do you even know it's there? No, you don't. Well, maybe you do. Some things on there and some things not. Alright, poor AT gun. Try to get it. Gets annihilated. Also, right now, the Axis need to go on the offensive. They're losing. They're down. They're point-wise, they just can't hold the points, and they need to do something. They need something to counter. Let's see. Dougal upgraded his Firefly with rockets. Again, I don't know what doctrine he's going. He has a lot of munitions, so if I had to pick something he would probably go, would probably be tactical support. If you could put a building like right here with tactical support, you could essentially call in close airstrikes, stuff like that. Boost infantry, or at least help infantry. Oh no, he could. And what I mean by that is, again, you could do artillery cover or like do a command vehicle for recon. That would essentially knock out the enemy pretty badly. Now, the enemy isn't done yet. They still have a lot of vetted troops. But they don't have something to necessarily fight a Firefly. That's a big problem I see. Did you make a command vehicle? Yeah, he did. So yeah, so he went tactical support and he did a command vehicle via this thing. So he get the recon. Very smart move. Fortunately, Stuka causing a lot of damage over here. Like I said, or Stuka, sorry, not Sturm Tiger. Stuka doing a lot of damage. Mortar fire doing pretty well. Oh, wow. Combat performance. So the command vehicle's aura is right here, which is helping them more defensively. Very smart move. Very smart move. Because again, if they're attacking your defensive line, we're gonna put it right now. If your front line, wow, really? All right, nice job killing an AT gun. You know, instead of the, well, yeah, he still has blobs. They're just being repaired. You know what? Actually, you should use your Stuka. Find the ambulance. You know the enemy's using an ambulance. You know, and it's like if it's not moving, it's like, all right, that's the priest. That's be the ambulance. Stuka, the ambulance. You could do that. Honestly, you probably could. It'd be risky. You have to probably move it to here and make sure they're guarded. But hell, if you can push back the one player, do a good Stuka strike on that location, you could cripple the American player. A lot of AT, unfortunately, pushing back that Firefly. Oh, don't lose it. Woo, that could have been close. Fortunately, Sturm Tiger leaving his flank wide open. Or, I'm sorry, Stug, not Sturm Tiger. I keep saying Sturm Tiger for some reason. I have Sturm Tiger on the brain. Wow, nice vetted troops. Unfortunately, not a lot of troops. Oof. And overall, the Allies have more men. Another huge issue. We lost a Kubel. Oh, but we have a Tiger. A light infantry, though. Dead. Definitely dead. Yeah, gain the upgrade. Sturm Tiger heal at this point. You can do the special ability to repair, but again, that kind of leaves it very vulnerable, so not something you really want to do. Stuka firing very close. I think, yeah, doing it here is a bad move. Like, I know you're like, oh, Greyshot, he wants to knock out this. But there's no infantry there. You know there's no infantry there. You know the infantry's over here shooting these men. So, firing at a location, which is a retreat point, good idea. When there's nothing there, bad idea, is not going to help you out. So, with the Tiger as well, they don't have a lot of AT that I see. The Bofors and infantry could do a little bit of damage. And that's still good, and a lot of, I mean, that's still enough to hold back the Tiger. For cannon warfare also coming, make sure the Firefly doesn't flank, but, you know, it's seen. Yeah. The problem is they let the British fortify, and they just don't have enough. Now, Dougal could literally end this by using pushing his force up and using artillery cover. That would cripple this guy's entire front line and essentially make them break through. Yeah. The British player just did a really great job of keeping his men on the front line, countering the enemy, having a wide range of forces, and actually using his units really well. He was able to make sure that a lot of his units didn't die. He made sure, like, again, this unit's been around pretty much the entire game. Oh, please don't die from the Tiger. Don't make me say that. No. Come on. Oh, Tiger and it's being flamethrowered by the Universal Carrier. That's incredible. Double hit from the Firefly, crippling the tank. Big armor push coming in right now, but is there an AT gun on the flank? Oh, yeah, there is. I thought I saw that. AT gun on the flank. Hitting it. Crippled engine. Nice shot. Stuka could have annihilated this guy if done correctly. Oh, shoot. There goes the Beaufort. This emplacement's barely alive. The Tiger's dead. The Stug's about to dive. You know, doesn't fall back from the Firefly very soon. Oh, wow. Nice miss. That was a devastating blow. Where's the Sturm Tiger in all this? Oh, wow. You just... Now you... Oh, they have a Jackson, too. Oh. Ah, jackass. Sturm Tiger deserves better. But yeah, I mean, we have the Stuka Crusader support, which did quite a bit, and definitely helped. It definitely helped kill stuff. And their entire offensive line is gone. Like, the British guy has no offensive line anymore. So, you know, long-term game, what's this guy's name? Sober has like a decent advantage. Problem is, this guy he just doesn't. He doesn't have the men. He doesn't have the armor. I mean, I know why he doesn't have armor, but he just probably the men is the big thing. He lost most of it. He can't get a good hit with the Stuka, which reminds me. Yeah, 4 kills. 4 kills with the Stuka. And, I mean, your Sturm Tiger lived. Good for you. But, yeah, I just feel like the management of their units could have been done so much better if they would have coordinated. Dougal did a really great job in defending. I like his emplacements. I like his style. And overall, again, he kept his units alive. I'm going to look here. I'm going to double check. He probably didn't lose all that much. Am I wrong? Yeah, 60. Okay, so he didn't lose too many units. But come to think of it, his infantry were all on the front line. So he loses a simple... all right, hold on. Let's double check Dougal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know the American player lost units. Why won't it... Okay. He lost no infantry section. He lost no engineers. He lost the AT guns. I know that. That's weird how he gained and never... sure, I guess you stole it. You lost 1 Vickers. Yeah, I mean, like, his losses aren't that bad. And then compare that to, let's say, El Padre, and, well, yeah, there's a lot more losses. But yeah, unit preservation was just the thing that really helped turn the tide. Oh yeah, I remember that. He deployed 2 snipers, really? I mean, that's an idea. Like I said, I feel like what they should have done is laid some type of defensive line and then focus their efforts in killing the American. The American player routinely would get his ass whooped. Like, he wasn't that amazing. Like, but the problem is you allowed him to propagate and allowed him to get on a point where it's like he became a threat. If you would have focused more attention on him and kind of neutralized a lot of his infantry using Stuka Fire or something along those lines, it would have been better, and a Storm Tiger would have been more efficient. Silver probably could have easily... I mean, like, he was not losing all that many troops to this guy. He wasn't taking the point, but he wasn't losing. A redistribution of resources, in my opinion, to assist in knocking out the American player, followed by holding mid, would have helped you a long way, and having like stable AT and stuff like that, mortar fire, etc., would have helped you a long way. But that was not the case, and unfortunately, Dougal's just effective playstyle and great supportive, pretty much all around good units, just helped turn the tide and just make the Axis a day, trying to just capture this point a living hell. But yeah, let's double check damage before I forget. Yeah, Dougal 36,000. Dr. Martin a few more kills, but it's pretty close. Although I will say this, Doctor got a lot of captures, so he was trying to push. He was trying to be that helpful ally player, which I always like. El Padre and Silver very close, but El Padre takes the cake with damage and kills and losses. 117, very funny. In any case, guys, that's game. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Check out my Patreon if you don't mind. You know, if you want to, you don't have to. And also, if you want, make sure you send in those replays so I can take a look and possibly show your game. Otherwise, leave your comments down below for the comment show that shows every 2 weeks. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.